I'll just take a seat. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so thank you for this opportunity to be heard. I'm speaking to you today on the liberty and duty of the board to immediately act to restore the rights of the students and their families. I am also asking for a public records request asking you to release any and all correspondence between the school board superintendent and their communications with the health department and Governor DeWine, effective immediately. This is my right by law. Board, what law are you following? CDC doesn't make law, the county health department doesn't make law, even the governor doesn't make law. In order for the governor to have extended power, first, you need a public health emergency, which we do not. But if we did, let's just say we did, to be considered an emergency measure, a law must be explicit state that it is being passed as an emergency measure and it must receive 2/3 of the vote in each house. The determination of whether a law is an emergency is with sole discretion of the legislature and is not subject to judicial review. Therefore, no public health emergency has been declared in Ohio. If we want to be real, the state health director legislatures failed to do this last year, making all actions from last year to current null and void. Board, by trying to enforce mandatory mask policy, you are violating law, real law. A face mask is legally designated as a medical device by the FDA, Section 201H, definition number 2. Therefore, in every state, including Ohio, face masks are regulated as a medical device. Even recommending that someone wear a regulated medical device, a mask, it is the unlicensed practice of medicine. And according to the Ohio Revised Code 4731.41 and 4731.34, this violation is a 5th-degree felony, according to the law, the real law. Forcing someone to wear a mask is illegal under the federal civil rights law, Title II, which requires that as a place of public accommodation, you must provide free and equal access to all services without discrimination. ORC, or the Ohio Revised Code 4112.02, further prohibits you from preventing entry as no law has been broken. There is no legitimate scientific study that shows that face masks stop a virus. We are hurting our children's immune systems. Face masks provide a warm, moist environment that is the perfect breeding ground for COVID and a host of other viruses and bacteria. Strep, sinus infections, MRSA, skin fungal bacterial infections, headaches, just to name a few. Does that sound familiar to anyone from last year? These are our children, not yours. And let me say that again, they're our children. And I am not going to let you mask my children. You are overstepping your boundaries, and I, for one, have a problem with that. As long as I have air in my lungs, I will never stop advocating for my child's health. No one has the right to regulate how much oxygen another person can breathe. I am fully prepared to pull both of my children from Crestwood if you vote to wear masks and make it mandatory. I know that every single board member who votes against the existing law will be removed from office through proper election and that the superintendent will be fired immediately. Please, where is the pandemic? 99.8% of the people who get sick also recover. Why are other recent pandemics like SARS and MERS, both coronaviruses that reached the United States in 2017 and 2014 respectively, and were transmitted the same way, why were these diseases not declared an emergency when these highly contagious diseases had much higher mortality or death rate? Personal health decisions are just that, personal, and they cannot be mandated by law. Just to be clear, laws are not mandates, and mandates are not law.
And we had,
No, I'm not finished. We elected you to office believing that you would be persons of integrity and sound judgment. We trusted that you would obey the oath to uphold the law. We required that you swear before God that you were faithfully maintain the allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and to Ohio. These documents are the supreme law of the land and of this state, and they do not allow for any official to violate the rights of the people on the basis of a health emergency. Moreover, they do provide that the only legislative bodies that make law, not governors or mayors or health department officials. When higher-ranking authorities violate the people's liberties by means of order, edicts, proclamations, or mandates, the lack of constitutional authority, the lesser-ranking authority, the school board in this case, has both the God-given right and affirmative duty not to obey the superior authority and, if necessary, actively resist them. This truth is known as the doctrine of the lesser magistrates. The Magna Carta was based on the doctrine of the lesser magistrates. The Declaration of Independence was based on the doctrine of lesser magistrates. The U.S. Constitution is based on the doctrine as well. Since executive orders and health department mandates are not law, this school board possesses the authority and duty to ignore them and to actively resist them. Accordingly, the board should declare face masks and other mandates to be invalid, unlawful, and unenforceable in any of its buildings or at any events under its jurisdiction. The citizens of this community recognize that this fight is not just about masks. It is a fight to restore moral and lawful order that some office holders wish to destroy. We are counting on you to search out this matter thoroughly and to do the right thing, even if it means going against those in authority over you. Thank you.
Mrs. Mueller.